It's Friday the 13th! It's basically a national holiday where I'm from. Let's talk a little bit about Scream 6 and also the Friday the 13th fan film, Never Hike Alone 2. Let's get into it.
Well, sometimes that is better.
Hey everybody, what's up? Killjoy Jake here, and instead of having friends, I have horror movies. Now today we're doing updates on Scream 6. Kevin Williamson just had a very interesting quote regarding the new film, as well as talking a little bit about a new Friday the 13th fan film, Never Hike Alone 2. Coming from the guy who should be first in line to do a real Friday the 13th film at some point in the future, Vincent DeSanti. Now before we get into all of these updates, make sure to like this video and subscribe for more horror updates in the future. So talking about Never Hike Alone 2, today on Friday the 13th, perfect timing, they dropped the first 5 minutes of the film online. Now there's one other thing I want to say real quickly before I read this description. This new movie, Never Hike Alone 2, will serve as a sequel to Never Hike Alone from 2017. But I do want to point out that the Ghost Cut is available right now, and I do think it's the definitive way to watch this film. Some people haven't seen Never Hike in the Snow, and that's a really important piece of this puzzle to kind of tell this full story. So make sure to watch the Ghost Cut if you have not seen that specific cut of it yet. If you have seen Never Hike in the Snow and Never Hike Alone, it basically just kind of merges those two things, and there's like a music video right at the beginning too. It's really cool. But Never Hike Alone 2 picks up with Crystal Lake's haunted son, Tommy Jarvis, once again played by Tom Matthews, returning from part 6, Jason Lives, who has all but given up on his search for the long-lost Jason Voorhees. However, when Tommy receives an emergency call to pick up injured hiker Kyle, he once again comes face to face with the ghost of Crystal Lake, setting into motion a blood-soaked conclusion to their deadly rivalry. Caught between the chaos is Dr. Diana Hill, played by Anna Campbell, still searching for answers to her son's disappearance, and the ever-stubborn Sheriff Rick Cologne is convinced that Tommy is responsible for it all. Now in the brand new clip that we got today, it starts off with a kid that very much so resembles Corey Feldman's Tommy Jarvis from the final chapter, fishing in Crystal Lake. I'm gonna take a quick aside to say, why the hell does Friday the 13th Part 4 have a 24% on Rotten Tomatoes? This is arguably the best one. These tomatoes are not rotten! After Jason drags not Corey Feldman down into the bottom of the lake, Tommy Jarvis wakes up and he's like just sweating in bed, having a just total panic attack about Jason. I'm assuming this whole encounter too at the end with him and Jason, once again just all in his head. I think that this is going to lead directly into the events of Never Hike Alone from 2017. I am so excited to see how everything connects here, because also talking about Dr. Diana Hill, who we saw in Never Hike in the Snow, it's going to be really cool to see how all of these paths kind of cross and ultimately lead down one path that can only lead to Jason Voorhees. Once again, I can't praise Womp Stomp enough. I think everything they put out is absolutely fantastic, and I highly recommend their YouTube channel. Go subscribe if you have not. The link for that will be in the description below. I'm wishing Vincent nothing but luck on this new project, and I seriously cannot wait for it when it comes out on Friday the 13th in October. The guy is incredibly nice and gracious, and I wish him nothing but good things on this upcoming project. I seriously cannot wait to see it. Go check out the Indiegogo too if you want to throw some dollars his way. Now getting into a Scream 6 update. We recently had some very interesting comments come from franchise creator and also the executive producer on this upcoming film, Kevin Williamson, talking about how this new film is much more than a 6th installment, but a reinvention of the entire franchise. Something that many Scream fans have been aching for, including ya boy. Screenwriter for the original film, Kevin Williamson can't help but praise the 6th installment of the Scream franchise, that he and Wes Craven birthed all the way back in 1996. Kevin has said he's absolutely floored with how well it turned out, and also saying it doesn't feel like part 6. It feels like you're watching this big, huge, fresh reinvention. I love it! I've watched the movie with a big smile on my face. I think it's everything and more, and going to New York was awesome. The movie feels new, it feels fresh, it feels like a new movie. Talking about Radio Silence going into their second Scream installment, Williamson says, Radio Silence is amazing. They're the perfect people to take the torch. I love Scream 6. It's really good. It's great. There's no way around it. I'm very happy with how it turned out. I really do have all that enthusiasm for it. I'm really excited. Now, in my 3.5 years of doing this channel, I have read many quotes from directors or people involved with the film who are hyping it up big time and saying it's really good, go check it out. Some people will dismissively just look past that and be like, okay, maybe it's good, I'll still check it out. I don't know if I believe someone who is actually involved with the film. Me, personally, I like to dig through these comments and find something that's just really important and something we can stick to that isn't just them saying it's great. The best part of this quote, in my opinion, is Kevin Williams saying, it doesn't feel like part 6, it feels like you're watching watching this big, huge, fresh reinvention. Now that I feel like is true, because anybody who's a part of a project is of course going to say things like, oh, it's great, it's awesome, it's so fun, go watch it. Like, yeah, you're gonna get that. And I'm of course excited for Kevin Williamson that he's excited, but this is the more valuable thing here that I want to focus on a little bit. The film not feeling like a part 6 is a big deal in my mind, because if this is a reinvention of the franchise, this can kind of like shoot us in a brand new direction for Scream and kind of breathe some new life into this franchise that otherwise has just done the same thing with every single entry. And that's not even really a diss towards the Scream franchise. I think this is a tried and true formula, and that's why all 5 entries have essentially followed the same course. It's hard to even lay blame for that in this franchise because it does work so well, but I've seen it 5 times now, so I'm kind of looking for something fresh here in part 6. With all that being said, this quote has me so excited to know that Kevin Williamson is feeling like this is a fresh new reinvention of the franchise rather than just a continuation. The big reason I feel this way is because I think Scream could go on forever. It's one of those franchises that is so jam-packed with good ideas, not just a lot of ideas, good ideas, that I genuinely think it could go on forever. We could have another Scream film every other couple of years. One of the biggest reasons I think that, there's like 3 big reasons, which we'll cover in a second, but the first biggest one is you always have somebody else behind the mask. You're always looking for a brand new character to be behind the mask and become the Ghostface killer in a new entry. Unlike Jason Voorhees, Michael Myers, Freddy Krueger, Ghostface can be anybody, and it has you going into every new entry looking for a brand new killer every single time, so we could do that forever. Kevin Williamson, who is not only an executive producer on this film, but probably has some kind of creative control, has also said that Stu Macher is dead, so I know there's a lot of people out there that really want to see Stu come back, but I don't think it's happening. The guy definitely has some creative control over this movie. Another big positive for the Scream franchise that gives it this wonderful longevity is the characters are always great in every single entry. I think all 5 movies do have great characters, some better than others, of course, but every single movie I think has some kind of very fun or relatable characters that I can personally get behind and root for. I don't see 6 being any different. I'm actually really excited to meet some of these new characters as well, and to see which one of them are sus. And the third thing, the reason we're even here doing update videos on this franchise is because Scream always has some kind of meta commentary on the horror genre. There are many positives surrounding this franchise, but your boy wouldn't be doing updates on it every single day. It wouldn't be one of the most popular horror franchises out there if it wasn't for this angle to it. And because the state of horror is constantly changing, there's always going to be something to comment on. So why not do another Scream film every like 5 years or so? You could have different people do it like every 5 years or so who are just really popular in the genre, maybe like some director who kind of wants to tackle it. Sure, do your own Scream film with totally different characters or whatnot. That would be fun. With every installment of the Scream franchise just simply being great for totally different reasons, I don't see a reason why not to do something like this, where it was like every 5 years, let's just make another Scream film with somebody different and kind of comment on something else going on in the space right now. That's also not to say that a Scream film is easy to make, because there is a lot of little working components always going on in every single scene of a Scream movie. But if you nail all of those things, you're gonna give us a great product every single time. Now, I would like to see Radio Silence mess around with the formula here, and I would like to see Radio Silence do a Scream 7 right after this one. But listen, I can dream, can't I? Hi everybody, Jake from the future here. I have yet another Scream 6 update. There is so much to talk about today, it's crazy. The Scream official account just tweeted, looks like we have a spill, clean up on aisle 1 and 19. Gonna need a mop and body bag. Hashtag Scream 6 with an old picture we've already seen. Now, regardless of us seeing this picture already, that may not be the news I'm talking about here, but clean up on aisle 1 and 19 could specifically mean a certain date coming up real soon here in the future. A certain date that's only 6 days away from right now. Ooh, does that mean a trailer drop then and there? Ooh, I think so. So January 19th, look no further for that dang Scream trailer, which we've all been waiting for a long time now. So do these Kevin Williamson quotes have you excited for Scream 6, and are you excited to watch the trailer coming up here on January 19th? Leave me something about it in the comments below. Thank you guys so much for watching this brand new Scream 6 update video. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more horror content in the future. Please consider supporting me on Patreon or becoming a channel member by clicking that join button on my page. Thank you all again for watching, and as always, don't forget to kill it out there, y'all.